All right, guys, just got to my home break, basically, Sandy's. This is kind of where I honed in my shortboarding over 4 years. So first time I'm surfing it. After losing my leg, I got Russ from Access Surf paddling out with me. We'll see how it goes. I'll probably do some drop knee surfing today just because I'm not at a place where I can stand with the left foot still, but endurance is getting better. I have a bit of a longer board today, so I think it's gonna go all right. Let's hope. Just got out of the waves at Sandy's. It was tough. 5 waves. I was out for about an hour 45 minutes, which is a new record. I was on a 8.6 surfboard, a lot of float. There was one wave that I took at I watched at 15 miles per hour, which was super fun. I kind of needed a little bit and went to the right, and then I got caught on the inside a bit. And with a board that big, it was a little bit scary because I was already so out of breath. And there's pretty big rocks, and there's a lot of rip currents moving through Sandy's. I mean, the lifeguards are constantly yelling at the people going in the water without fins there because the shore break just breaks so many necks. So definitely one of the more dangerous places I've been to, but it's like basically what I consider my home break of Hawaii. For 5 years, I was basically surfing Sandy's and Irma's over here. So it's good to finally be back and seeing kind of the same old landscapes. Really put a smile on my face just being out there, and it's really meditative, and the people out there are super friendly, and yeah, all in all, successful. Exhausted, but successful.
In just 1 year, Carter Parry lost a lung and a leg due to infection caused by the flu and then got COVID. Now he's determined to get back on his board and do what he loves.
Bob and Julie are back in Hawaii, and we gotta celebrate this with a little bit of a potluck. We're here. And as you can see, if you look very closely to our left, you will see one of the exotic man species that build their nests on other sides of riverbanks in Hawaii. They are very adept and have created their own tools for the project. Best not to disturb them. Live at Dieter's house, taking a look at some of his amazing prints.
And paintings.
And
so
paintings.
Now we're focusing on paintings, so turn around. That one is called White Light, White Heat.
Oh, cool.
In this,
Yeah, you always have really good line work with your waves. You can really define the textures.
pretty epic, that painting.
And over here, you can see a wild Steven. They tend to be calmed by the fun sailing of RC boats in riverbanks. Notice his calm demeanor, his still face.
That is nuts.
I've never seen a more tranquil Homo sapien in my life. Water now. All the older gentlemen have mounted their controllers. They are ready to race.
Funny, yeah.
Race is about to begin here. We got 5 boats. 1 minute 45 seconds, as Steven has said. I don't know who's gonna win, but I mean, tensions are high here today. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go, and everyone stalls. Upwind battle begins.
Talking about cruising.
Alright, so I just realized I've been recording in slow-mo this entire day, so none of that footage is usable. So I'm here at the ECMO conference in Hawaii for Hawaii Pacific Health, and it's about 175, 200 participants, and I'm speaking in about 3 hours about my experience on ECMO. A little bit nervous, never done much public speaking, so this is kind of a big jump into a pretty large crowd. The beginning presentations were mostly on logistics, like transport, how they medevac people across on ECMO or in ambulances, and that's what happened to me. I went from Hawaii all the way to Ohio on ECMO, so all the blood circuit system, 4,000 miles. I also got to meet a lot of ICU doctors and nurses that were on my care team, and they haven't seen me since, so it's been pretty cool that they get to see the results of what they've done. So I'm pretty excited to speak. About to go on and speak. Wish me luck. Pretty nervous. I believe that is what ended me in this position. So that super infection kind of just ripped through my lungs, and I had no pre-existing health conditions, so I really didn't expect any of this to happen to me, especially at 22 years old. But I remember pretty clearly just being in my room, feeling flu-like symptoms. My brother said that my lips were blue. We should probably go to the hospital. I just wanted to chill. But we ended up going. I get checked into Castle. I vaguely remember listening to him check me in and use my insurance info and all that. And next thing I know, I'm waking up to my sister by my side at Queens Hospital with all these tubes connected to me. And I was super confused because my sister lives in Ohio. How could she get here in a few hours? But in reality, it'd been a few weeks that I was in an induced coma. So I was super happy when I could finally communicate, because being conscious and connected to all this stuff and not even being able to mime anything other than minor facial expressions. I mean, I remember my family was very happy because the transport from Castle to Queens took a long time. My ejection fracture was about 5%. So I was on VA ECMO for I think 8 to 10 days. And when the time I finally came through and I saw everything attached to me, I just rolled my eyes. Oh, what a situation we're in now, huh? So they knew that my sense of humor was still there, and that means I was probably there in my head as well. Eventually, it came time to get shipped on over to the mainland, and that obviously required a lot of communication from the flight team over here and everyone putting all that together. And I just remember all the logistics. Every morning, someone would come to my room like, "Oh, we got the plane. Oh wait, insurance isn't working," and back and forth. But it was a pretty comfortable transition for me. All I remember is I finally get to look out a window, because it'd been so long already, about 2 months. And we flew all the way from Hawaii to the Cleveland Clinic. So a nice 4,000 mile journey on ECMO. Quick pit stop here, I believe in Oregon, just to enjoy the views. Throw up a shaka, have a good time. So, one of the most important things I guess I can stress to you from a patient's perspective is how important it was to go outside and see those windows, get out of the ICU, to stop staying in my room and feel a bit more like a human. Because I was conscious, right? I'm alive for this whole time. Even though I'm on all these drugs, I have been just captured in this ICU room and locked in there with only my head to think for days on end. And being able to escape that like I did on my birthday was really just a great feeling for me. And I think that helped with my survivability rate. It probably increased it just by being able to, see the world still out there, despite being in the middle of COVID. But yeah, that was a nice way to skip it as well. I recommend a quick ICU stay for a few months. But I know it's definitely challenging for all the team to move all these cannulas and pipes and everything to get a patient just outside so we can see a window. Like, is that really worth the administrative effort? And I'd say it definitely is. So please, give us some fresh air. This is my first attempt at eating. I was very excited. It's about 4 months here, and unfortunately, I couldn't taste anything. As soon as everything went in my mouth, I've been being fed from a G tube for about 2 months, 3 months at this point, and it was a lot harder to move my hand because of all of the necrosis happening to my fingers and my toes from the vasopressors. So I ended up losing my whole right lung, so I had a pneumonectomy, my right leg, my left toes, all through vasopressors and complications of the flu. But the ECMO kept me alive to get through to the situation and be standing here talking to you all today. I like this. Nothing better than having your sister massage your head to give you a quick shampoo. This is kind of still along the lines of, though, just feeling more like a human, having my hair washed, even though, I'm not going out and seeing anybody, just gave me this happiness. It allowed me to keep on pushing forward. So small things like this make a big difference for the patients. So this is a pretty dark video, but the problem with being in the ICU for so long is, as I'm sure a lot of you are aware, ICU psychosis can start to set in. So I don't even know how I communicated this because I still had a trach going in, but I asked my nurse at some point to film me. It's about like 3, 4 a.m. because I could swear that there was a ghost behind me that kept trying to attack me. And I just needed to get that video evidence so that way I could go on paranormal activity. So I kind of created this vlog just so that way I could showcase that journey, even though I don't know if it's possible. But I wanted something to be out there showing you have to try, right? You don't know if you're gonna make it when you start, but you just need to do a little bit every day, grind forward, and hopefully you can get to a position where I'm already at. Like, I'm very happy. I just biked up 2,000 feet Mokuleia just the other day, partially on an e-bike, but details aren't important. And that was a huge thing that I never thought I'd be able to do just 5 months ago. So thank you for all the research and time that you guys invest into ECMO and just healthcare, because it made a huge difference in my life and I'm sure many others. Thanks.